Your forecast first from KARK4.
The weak cold front that brought some showers and thunderstorms earlier today continues to push southward. We have somewhat drier air working into the state, and that's a plus because that will allow low temperatures, at least along and north of Interstate 40, to be pretty comfortable tonight. Mid-60s to around 70 across northern Arkansas. Elsewhere, low to mid-70s. Your forecast first for Little Rock. We are looking for partly cloudy skies for your Friday. 70 degrees to start your day. Look for highs in the low 90s. Arkansas News That Matters starts right now.
Now, from the station you count on for local news that matters, this is KARK4 News at 10.
Parents are worried about what other parents are seeing their kids as. Nobody wants to say, my child is a heroin addict.
Growing concerns tonight about the use of opioids, not just among adults, but kids and teens. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10 o'clock, everybody. I'm Bob Clausen. Ashley has the evening off. The country is waking up to the growing and devastating opioid and heroin addiction crisis. Just last week, the president called it a national emergency. Tonight, a local family doing everything they can to keep their addicted daughter alive. Because Health Matters, KARK4's Mitch McCoy has their story and the numbers showing how widespread this type of drug abuse is. Mitch.
Well, Bob, the raw data shows how severe of a problem this is in Arkansas schools. As recently as 2013, Arkansas high school seniors were abusing prescription drugs, more teens than any other state. A vast majority of heroin users start with prescription pills, then move to the harder street drugs. That's exactly what one North Little Rock family says happened to their daughter. Tonight, they're closer than ever to beating the odds. It may look
packing things for her
like Hope Hakens is heading on vacation, but where she's going is no getaway.
It's so important.
She and her husband are heading to Mississippi to visit their daughter.
It's a living hell.
In a drug rehab center, her fifth one.
She's had 3 heroin overdoses.
Around 15 is when it started.
It's been a really long 4 years in a way, but also almost a whirlwind.
Madeline is the kind of girl who loves to smile, but it was behind that smile.
Looking back, you know, changes in the groups of friends, who she was dating. I knew, you know, he didn't come around like a typical boyfriend.
You know, there was always, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I know I'm screwing up, but nothing would ever change.
Madeline's parents
I will fight it and fight it and fight it for as long as I have to.
Refuse to let their daughter become a statistic.
Increase in opiate use has skyrocketed among adolescents and teenagers.
Clinical therapist Alyssa Pickett says heroin use is spreading like wildfire through Arkansas classrooms.
Schools are also not wanting to have this conversation because it makes the school look bad. It makes the district look bad.
You're young enough to bounce through this and get on the other side and have a very productive life.
Madeline is moving to Texas this weekend to live in a sober living center. Madeline's mother will be there, using faith to take life over again.
Her face is brighter, her eyes. Actually, you can tell there's a, you know, soul in there. My daughter's in there. She's laughing.
Health experts say parents should be on the lookout for overnight changes, drastic changes in friends and habits. We will have much more on this story on our website, arkansasmatters.com. Bob?
All right, Mitch, thanks very much. Arkansas's Attorney General has asked the governor to set an execution date for a death row inmate. Jack Green has been on death row since the early 90s. He murdered his brother in North Carolina and a Johnson County preacher. Green's lawyer says his client is mentally disabled. In April, Arkansas restarted lethal injections after a 12-year pause. 4 death row inmates were executed in a 10-day span. It's unclear when the governor will set a date for Green's execution. And the Department of Correction had been without one of the 3 drugs needed for lethal injections until about 2 weeks ago. Tonight, we're learning more about that transaction. ADC telling us this evening it received a new supply of midazolam August 4th. They didn't say where it came from. State law allows suppliers to stay anonymous. A report from BuzzFeed News tonight shows ADC Director Wendy Kelly paid $250 cash for the drug on August 4th. The supplier's name was redacted from that report. A rally in support of Confederate monuments is scheduled for Saturday in Hot Springs, and as you might imagine, it's got a lot of folks talking. It isn't the first time a Confederate rally has happened in the Spa City, but it has some rather uneasy, considering we're not even a week removed from the unrest in Charlottesville, Virginia. At the intersection of Market and Central Hot Springs rests a statue of a Confederate soldier along with a Confederate flag. Some want it gone. Others hope it isn't touched.
And pray to God to protect it, because it should be protected and not taken down.
Given the atmosphere throughout a lot of the other states, all the disruption, I just don't think it's a good idea to have a rally.
The National Park Service, City of Hot Springs, and various law enforcement agencies are aware of the rally on Saturday, and they are preparing plans for a number of different scenarios. Today, the Democratic Party of Arkansas calling for public Confederate monuments across Arkansas to be taken down and placed in museums. A statement says, in part, objects that romanticize the darkest days of our history do not belong on taxpayer-funded public grounds. Our nation was built on values of inclusion and free speech, and it's incumbent upon us to always strive for a more perfect union. We can do this by filling our public spaces with new symbols of everything we hope to be rather than what we once were. On the other side, Governor Hutchinson saying today we should not start taking down monuments just because they remind us of an unpleasant past. Refusing to face our history by dismantling it is a mistake. We should use our historical markers as teaching opportunities to provide greater leadership for the future. The governor also renewed his condemnation of white supremacists following last weekend's violence in Charlottesville, Virginia. Starting tomorrow, Little Rock police will increase patrols. The department hopes this will answer the recent spike in violent crimes. A memo sent Wednesday says 45 patrol and property crime detectives will work an extra 4 hours of overtime a day. That's on top of their typical workday. The city will pay for that using overtime money. The department is also requesting help from Arkansas State Police.
They're going to give us probably on average 5 to 6 state troopers a day to help with enforcement within our city.
State police will work on state highways that run through the city. There's a new recruit class of 27 people. That starts on Monday. Little Rock's understaffed 911 center is getting a much-needed boost. 10 new call takers and dispatchers are now being trained. Earlier this month, we reported the city has nearly 24 call taker and dispatch opening jobs, or jobs open rather. We've learned that 10 new hires are all previous dispatchers. It's the first group of new hires since the city announced a nearly $6,000 raise earlier this year. A state law allowing concealed guns on college campuses goes into effect in just a few weeks. Arkansas State Police have several months now to develop rules and training, but with the fall semester starting, colleges are trying to prepare for potential problems. KARK 4's Marcy Manley working for you, taking a look at how the law could put guns closer to high school students.
This was really their first chance to even get into any of these classrooms.
2 years ago, East Ems High School on the UALR campus was just an idea that's now a reality.
This was one of the original buildings on campus.
School officials tried to think of everything.
When we started this planning several years ago, it obviously wasn't even on our radar.
But guns being on campus wasn't one of them.
We knew that public K-12 schools are gun-free zones. We knew that there's a 1,000-foot buffer.
Roll call. This past spring, Arkansas lawmakers voted to allow concealed carry of firearms on public college campuses, in bars, and in government buildings. But state law still bans guns in K-12 schools, and federal law creates a 1,000-foot buffer in school zones. So initially, East Em administrators thought that the federal law would bring a 1,000-foot buffer out from the building, but now a debate is underway, and that makes it unclear where the gun-free zone ends and campus carry begins.
Now, you know, we're being told that some people say there's no 1,000-foot barrier, it's only the school building. We're still working through that, but yeah, it definitely kind of came out of left field.
I mean, every day we get asked a question.
Joanne Maxey is general counsel for the UA system. She says with enhanced carry permits, the state has licensed people to carry in a school zone as allowed under the federal law.
So I don't know when they were looking at the particular bills that passed, if they were looking at federal legislation.
So guns would be banned inside the main East Em buildings because it's a K-12 school, but they would be allowed elsewhere.
They wouldn't have to ever leave the building, so they wouldn't ever have to actually physically leave the gun-free zone if they didn't want to, and if parents felt strongly about that.
East Em's not the only place where administrators are having to define lines. While guns can be carried into college dorms and residence halls, storage there isn't allowed.
And they would have to store their handgun in a unattended vehicle, a locked vehicle, somewhere in the parking lot of the university.
And UALR, not the only university sorting it all out. The law goes into effect on September 1st, but state police have until the end of the year to develop rules and plans for the additional training required. That gives colleges time before any guns are brought on campus, but it also makes it difficult to flesh out all the particulars to answer parent, staff, and student questions.
We don't have a ready answer to everything, that we have to sit and give it some thought and think of what the potential implications are going to be.
The UA system has developed FAQs and an information safety page, which it updates as situations come across the system's nearly 20 campuses. Other colleges are doing the same.
We kind of had a plan already. This just is a little bit of a unique wrinkle to that.
Easton's admin saying the changes to the carry law don't change the school's focus on student security.
Anywhere that we can say we're having class gets to count.
And when enhanced carry comes to campus, they'll have a plan in place to keep the focus in the classroom. Working for you, I'm Marcy Manley.
Arkansas State Police declined an on-camera interview, saying that it's too early to discuss what might be developed to implement the enhanced carry program. We requested internal documents from the agency to see if discussions are even underway. At this point, State Police have not provided those documents as required by law. Still to come this evening at 10 o'clock, what might seem like run-of-the-mill for bigger cities in Arkansas is a historic achievement in this town. Hear reaction after a restaurant becomes the first in its town allowed to serve alcohol. Plus,
I was just thinking, like, wow, you know, anything could have happened to these kids.
disturbing video from an Arkansas daycare. Hear from a mom who discovered video of her toddler fighting while a caregiver used their phone to record the entire thing.
And morning clouds and rain keeping temperatures down a bit across Arkansas today. 89 the high temperature in the capital city after starting at 74. Our averages are 93 and 73. Just a trace of rain here in Little Rock. A lot more in the Ouachitas. And we do have some rain chances in the forecast. We'll look at those. Plus your Great American Eclipse forecast in just a couple minutes.
Watch KARK4 today. Tomorrow morning from 4 to 7. Now from KARK4, your weather authority. Arkansas's certified most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan.
You may have noticed some changes in the atmosphere today, especially across parts of central and northern Arkansas. A little less humid for now, but we are going to see those hot temperatures return as early as tomorrow afternoon. Some rain chances are on the way over the weekend. And of course, we're going to be talking about Eclipse 2017 weather. The Great American Eclipse heads our way, rain or shine, as we start the new work week. High temperatures across Arkansas today, as I mentioned, with the clouds and rain around, especially through the first half of the day, really held back the temperatures. Highs generally in the 80s to near 90 degrees. 89 in Little Rock, once again, one of the hotter readings in the state this afternoon. 88 at Hot Springs, same up at Batesville, 86 at Pine Bluff, and 86 degrees for you folks down in Camden. This evening, just after 10 o'clock, temperatures have cooled back to the low 70s in northwest, north central Arkansas, with 71 at Fayetteville right now. 75 at Batesville. You folks out in Russellville, you're 73 out near the Oklahoma state line. Mena, 77 right here in the capital city with partly to mostly clear skies. Our current temperature stands at 77. Dew points still relatively high at 74. They will be dropping a bit overnight tonight as we get a light northwesterly flow. So tomorrow actually a bit more comfortable than even today, although temperatures will be a bit warmer. Right now, the heat index, or what it feels like, is 78. West-southwest winds at 6 and the barometer 29.98. Currently rising with weak high pressure trying to build southward into the northern half of Arkansas. Well, the good news for tonight, if you're tired of being awakened by morning thunderstorms, is that we don't have any big thunderstorm complexes over the central and southern plains. We're not going to see any significant chance of rain for the next 24 hours. Can't rule out the possibility of an isolated shower, mainly because the very cold front that is bringing us the drier air overnight and through the first part of tomorrow will be lifting back to the north as a warm front tomorrow afternoon. So less than a 20% chance. Most folks are not going to see any rain. Now, some of the guidance, as we talked about at 5 and 6, had suggested a big complex of thunderstorms may develop in the vicinity of southeast Kansas and northeastern Oklahoma and then ride southeastward across the state. That's that doesn't look at least likely at this point. But overall, the chance of rain for your Saturday stands at about 40%. Another cold front begins to weaken as it approaches Arkansas. I think we'll see perhaps a 30% chance of showers as we head into the day on Sunday. That front completely washes out on Eclipse Day, and right now the cloud forecast not looking too bad. We're going to be up live in Paducah, where totality will occur about 223 on Monday afternoon. I should say 123 on Monday afternoon. Here in Little Rock, maximum eclipse is going to occur at 118 when 90% of the sun will be covered. Right now it looks like mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies on the way. Fingers crossed for some breaks in the clouds. In Little Rock tonight, mostly clear, down to 70. For your Friday, it's going to be partly cloudy with a high temperature up to 93. Your Crane team weather impact number for tonight and for Friday, we'll put it at 0. 3 for Saturday, we've got about a 40% chance of thunderstorms, and it looks like the chances of rain will drop a bit more as we head into Sunday. Monday, again, about a 1 in 3 shot at rain, but we're hoping any development will take place after the maximum eclipse, just after 1:15 in the afternoon. Overall, though, Bob, it's not looking too bad of a forecast for the middle part and latter part of August. We have not hit 100 here, and folks in the Pacific Northwest have done that. So, you know, we're pretty lucky. You know, when places like Portland and
close
Seattle,
have we gotten?
We have not gotten that close. 96, the hottest temperature so far this year. I'm not complaining.
No, I mean, here we are, the tail end of August, and we're headed into fall.
And the grass is still growing, so you still got to mow this weekend.
The grass is growing like crazy, especially with all this rain. All right, Keith, thanks very much. Okay. Well, you know, there's been plenty of buzz about the eclipse and what Keith's been up to. We're going to have an update on a story that we brought you last night. North Little Rock VA Hospital needed some help with some patients getting some solar eclipse glasses. So today, our own Keith Monahan went out there and he handed out the glasses. These guys needed to watch this thing safely. Keith is headed also to Paducah, Kentucky, where he will watch the eclipse there, and he will see it in totality. That's going to be on Monday. Looking for all those reports. Keith, I know he's getting ready, packed up, and going to have a whole lot of fun doing that. Well, caught on camera, toddlers fighting in their daycare while their teacher records the entire thing on the cell phone. What happened next and how one mother is reacting. Plus, it's not exactly the land shark from Saturday Night Live. We're going to explain what's going on here and what's doing all the running around on campus of the University of Arkansas.
Watching KARK4 News at 10.
A Northeast Arkansas daycare teacher is out of a job tonight after posting a video of 2 toddlers fighting on social media. The cell phone recording took place last Thursday at the Under the Rainbow preschool in Newport. Daycare's director says the teacher, who'd been there a little more than 3 years, posted the video of the boys going at it on Snapchat. Take a look at that. She was fired Monday. The mother of the boy and Grace says a friend sent her the video earlier this week.
I was irate. I was upset, very upset that it was a 30-second video of my son and another child fighting. Somebody could have fell, bumped their head, got a concussion.
Director of the preschool calls it an isolated incident and says the teacher used poor judgment. The Department of Human Services is now looking into this matter. A first in Searcy, a restaurant has been granted the city's first permit to serve alcohol, and its location is sure to have some people talking. The Rock House restaurant in Searcy sits right across from Harding University, which forbids students from using alcohol in any form. It was initially denied an alcohol permit, but won an appeal with the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board. General Manager Craig Robinson says that he knows a lot of people in Searcy that may be uncomfortable with this change.
No ill will towards anybody. Like I said, you know, we're not forcing anybody to have a drink, but we want to be that place that they have that choice to do so.
Robinson says the bar isn't built yet, but they hope to be serving wine and beer sooner than later. Veterans are working to raise money tonight in Beebe for a monument that would be dedicated to family members who had loved ones killed in Afghanistan. The Leader newspaper says the monument would be placed at the Veterans Park Memorial. That's off DeWitt Henry Drive. Gold Star families have already raised $17,000 of the $44,000 needed to build it. Sports is coming up next. We've introduced you to Arkansas freshman who became the first AA amputee to earn a Division I scholarship in track and field. Tonight, the Pig Trail Nation team giving Woodhall a surprise yesterday, and it involves a shark. See what that's all about after the break.
Now, from Fayetteville, high on the hill, this is your Pig Trail Nation report, powered by your Arkansas Select Buick GMC dealers.
So here we go. A shark Hunter Woodhull and a track. What am I talking about? Well, I promise it is not a bad joke. I will explain it all coming up. But first, the young guys are grabbing the attention left and right during fall camp. Offensive lineman Ty Clary is the latest to make his coaches stop and watch. A three-star recruit out of Fayetteville High, Clary is impressing offensive line coach Kurt Anderson with his ability to pick up the offense so quickly and how he moves on the line. Clary, one of the guys Anderson says would be in the two-deep rotation if the season started tomorrow.
He just plays with a tenacity and a toughness and a grit about himself. It's not too big for him. You know, he battles his butt off against, you know, some of the best D linemen that we have and has found success. And so I've been able to accelerate him a lot faster than maybe any of us really thought.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of new guys, young faces on the field this year. To hear more on Ty Clary and more from the other coaches and players, just head to our website or Facebook and Twitter pages. To the NFL, 4 former Hogs in action tonight in the second week of the preseason. So let's check out how they performed. Ryan Mallett and the Ravens against Drew Morgan and the Dolphins. Ryan Mallett going 13 for 22 with 113 yards, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Drew Morgan had a catch today, finally. Didn't get a catch last week, but also had a punt return fumble. Jonathan Williams continuing to shine in Buffalo, had 7 carries for 29 yards. But how about Brandon Allen? Really a great performance today for Jacksonville. 10 for 15, 144 yards. The only touchdown of the game for Jacksonville, and almost had a touchdown game-winning drive. So Brandon Allen definitely giving himself a run for that second quarterback spot in Jacksonville. Well, a couple of weeks ago, Shark Week aired Michael Phelps versus a shark. If you remember, it was a CG shark. So it gave us an idea. So while we caught up with freshman sprinter Hunter Woodhull, we brought in our own shark to see if we could give Woodhull a run for his money. Check this out.
I already know. Yeah. I knew it, Jerry. What's going on, bro? What's going on, man? The shoes gave it away. I told him. I saw it right away. I saw the A6. I said, no, it's got to be Jerry.
How long you been?
A day.
A day?
Got here yesterday, so.
All right, well, that's plenty ahead of you.
Oh, yeah, bro. Got lots to do.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what to do at this point, but we made it here.
Everything good, though? Met the coaches?
Yeah, I love the
quads,
coaches.
You in the quads?
Yeah, Northwest
I
C.
know the quads.
Northwest C, man.
Yes, sir.
That's what I told my mom. I said, I hope it's Gepper out here.
Oh, yeah, definitely, definitely.
It was a lot of fun. Got to give them both thanks for being such great sports and Jerry and running in that shark costume. Pure entertainment, Bob, but of course, had to have some fun with Hunter while we had him.
Well, a lot of fun and truly great sports, actually, what they are.
Yes.
Melissa, thanks very much. Oh, triple-digit heat has avoided us all summer long. We had that in the forecast or just more rain? Get to take a look right after this.